experience the full power of the dark side. Good!
We will deal with your rebel friends soon enough.
What the? Lisa back.
Prepare to fire.
Oh no!
Hello and welcome back to Star Wars Beyond the Stars, a SWTOR podcast, for episode number 2, recorded on Monday, August 18th, 2014. I am your host, Fred, aka Sith Lord Corv. And joining me, as per the usual, is my token Imperial agent, Lou.
Hey, hello Fred. What's going on? Hello Twitch. Hello YouTube. What's going on?
Hey Lou. Welcome back, my token non-Force user.
Thank you. I think.
It's hard to know, really. And then also joining us is Paige, a.k.a. Captain Kimbray.
Reporting for duty. I don't think you know what token means, do you, Fred?
Oh, yeah. I'm required, as the resident Sith Lord, to have at least 3 non-Force users on the Crimson Seabiscuithawk at all times.
Makes you feel special?
No, it just prevents me from having to do more paperwork.
Lazy.
And also joining us is our bounty hunter from the Outer Rim, Zizi.
Hello, I bounty hunt.
Of course you do. And of course, we're also joined by our walking trash heap, ID 10T. And Treek, who's over there on Zizi's lap.
Get out of my lap, Trick.
I don't think she wants to.
Get out of lap.
Give her a biscuit.
I don't have biscuit.
Tricky want a milk bone? Tricky want a milk bone? That's a good Tricky. Good Tricky.
Stay over there with Corv.
And as a quick reminder to everybody, we offer free shout-outs, so if you want us to shout out anything for you, just shoot us an email at starwarsbeyond@gmail.com. You can also find out more about the show at starwarsbeyond.com. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/StarWarsBeyondPodcast. And you can tweet us at StarWarsBeyond. And remember, we record the show live on Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/NoSHTGaming. So, Kimbray, what do we have coming up in the Captain's Log?
Coming up in the Captain's Log, we have our Week in Game, GamesCon Galactic Strongholds trailer, GamesCon Community Cantina Q&A, another horrible recommendation of the week that I picked. Agent Olan will report the Galactic Republic Part 4, and will provide your feedback in our community holofeed.
But we also have something quick to mention. Don't forget, folks, tomorrow after maintenance on Tuesday morning, Galactic Strongholds launches. That's right. And along with that comes the next part of the Forged Alliance's storyline.
Is anyone else really excited?
I can't wait.
I'm so excited. I kind of want to take tomorrow off.
I mean,
is that bad?
No, I mean, hey, it's a big part of the game that's being updated, and Yeah, I know as subs we're going to get the Nar Shaddaa stronghold, but I know for my Imperial characters, I am definitely gonna see and snag up an apartment in Dromund Kaz and see, and start probably start decorating that one. I'll probably ignore the Nar Shaddaa apartment.
I'm so happy that tomorrow's my day off. So let's go ahead and move right into the captain's log then, starting with our week in game. And Zizi, what have you been up to over the last week?
Hi, yes. I got my Marauder up to level 24, which is basically doubling the level that I got to last week.
Wow.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun. And surprisingly, I didn't actually play that much. But yeah, I've been just running the daily, the two dailies that are for the regular, the story mode flashpoint and the tactical flashpoint, getting the XP, the money, and the 15 planetary commendations for all of it, which is pretty phenomenal. And just going around right now in Nar Shaddaa, doing my class story quest, because I don't know, it's fun.
So which story are you enjoying the most so far?
Well, I haven't really gotten that far into the bounty hunter storyline, so I'm enjoying the warrior storyline a lot. It's very cool. It's interesting. I'm killing spies.
I think the Sith warrior story is the second best one that I've done in the whole game.
What do you think's the first best one you've done?
Imperial Agent, hands down.
I need to finish some other ones.
Total agreement there. But Zizi, what are you running? Like, what tree are you going down on your Marauder skill tree? I should say.
Oh dang. The middle one. I don't know. It's the one which gives you the form which lets you attack basically multiple times.
Is
like
it?
Chance for the
There's
second attack.
there's like Annihilation. Oh, see now I can't remember the
The
other
middle
one.
tree would be Carnage.
Yes,
yeah,
that
the one on the right side. I think
Carnage.
that's Rage.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's the middle one. I'm not really following any build or anything like that. I haven't looked into it, but I don't know. It seems like I'm doing a lot of damage.
See, that's why it's helpful to have screenshots of all your character specs handy, so I could just open it up and be like, Carnage.
That, and every time they reset talents, I go, Fred, what was I again? You can go, and look it up for me, because I'm so horrible.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least you're enjoying Carnage. Yeah, because I know my Marauder, I run Annihilation.
I think I might be Annihilation, too. I don't remember.
When I looked through Annihilation, I felt like it focused a little bit more on the dots,
Mm-hmm.
The ducks.
and it seemed like Carnage was a little bit more brute force damage.
Yeah, like more in your face, up front damage. Yeah, I know, because I know I'm Marauder. My fights take a little longer, as opposed to probably someone who's spec'd for Carnage or Rage.
Yeah.
So
It takes a little bit to kick in, but then you start piling on the damage.
Mhm.
Yeah. And yeah, I've been doing all of... Surprisingly, the queues have been popping for me for the story the story dungeons, or the story flashpoints, jeez. And yeah, the last one that I tried to do was Mandalorian Raiders. I got completely owned. We wiped probably 10 times before we decided to quit.
Aw, okay.
Yeah, we were on the last fight, and we tried it probably 4 times, and we just gave up.
Ah, man, it's a shame. The last boss, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's the last. It was the party of 4 Republic peoples against us.
Oh, yeah, that's a hard fight,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you're doing it at level.
Yeah. It was... there was 2 24s, a 25, and a 26. Which is pretty much exactly at level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little rough.
We were running the pro strats too. I looked up a guide and it said something along the lines of take out the Jedi Knight first, because he force leaps to people often, and he breaks up the threat meters, and then when you take him out, the other 3 get more powerful. So We tried to contain that, but we just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest fight in the whole Flashpoint, when you're taking on the whole boarding party.
Yep. It's ridiculous.
See your other little note in here that you're pretty much almost have enough to pay back Supa.
Yeah, 350,000 credits. I've been gathering a lot of things with my crew. I got my third companion, so now I can actually have one of them running around with me, and then the other two gathering, since I still have a maximum of only 2 out gathering at a time.
That's pretty good when you can only send out 2 companions and you're already up to 350k.
Yeah, well, my crew skills, which are slicing, archaeology, and scavenging, are all about to hit 200. They're all roughly around the same level, like 190.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And of course, I'm sending them all on the crew tasks that cost like 800 to 1,000 credits, but I'm still somehow making money.
Now, are you also manually scavenging and stuff when you're out fighting mobs and they're dead?
Yeah, usually. I usually ignore the stuff that doesn't give me XP anymore, since the place around my class story, there's maybe one thing that gives me XP, and that's a slicing thing that requires 120 slicing, so it's green about to become gray. So like whenever I see that one, I pick it up, but usually, yeah, if it gives XP, I'll pick it up.
What are you, like, vendoring your stuff, or are you selling it on GTN?
No, I'm selling everything on the GTN.
That's how you'll make your money.
Yeah. I mean, every so often I pick up one of those mission tablets thing that just randomly, and I can sell that for 10k. Bam.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
On my way to paying back Super Hot.
Super hot.
I've never actually
Sorry.
just picked up all gathering skills on a character before.
It's fun because I'm really useful in flashpoints. Like in
Yeah.
Mandalorian Raiders, I totally sliced the elevator.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I've done that too on a lot of my new characters. I've actually done the same thing you've done. I've actually said I've foregone crafting and said, you know what? I'll just do the gathering skills, make money that way.
Mm-hmm.
I should really try that over on Shadowlands. God knows I need some money over there.
I know.
God, yeah.
All my mains are on whatever other server we play on. I don't remember.
Jedi Covenant.
Yeah. All my mains are over there with all their money. They're all rolling in the dough, and now I'm like, I can't buy a mount. Everything's horrible. I think I'm gonna pick up some gathering skills. I have to. I don't think there's really a choice.
I'm just happy that right now, training is maybe 500 per skill.
It's gonna get worse though,
I know.
The more you level, so all that money's gonna disappear real soon.
Well, I have a solid financial plan in place right now where I'm trying to level this Jedi up to level 50 to unlock his race on my legacy. And once he gets to 50, I'm probably just going to do dailies on him for the rest of his existence.
Mm-hmm. Works.
So, what have you been up to this week, Paige?
Well, I would like to say that I had a blast playing with the boys. I don't know if the video of our gameplay is playing right now in the live stream or if Fred has the other stuff up. But as you will see eventually, we did Black Talon. And I feel the need to point out that Agent Louis Olan is totally slicing all of everything and really hacking because every role, nearly every critical role ended up being played light side. And he's the only one of us that's light side. So we ended up saving a bunch of people. And it was disgusting to me. We wiped the floor with everybody in Black Talon. It wasn't even really a challenge. And we moved on to Droman Koss. In addition to that, I decided to play around a few of my characters on Jedi Covenant. Not Jedi Covenant. Yeah. Right? Fred? Is that where I am?
That's the other server.
You just said this a minute ago, and I've already forgotten. It's awful. I just made up my mind that I wanted to PvP. And the thing about when I PvP is I do it just to irritate the other team. I don't do it because I want the gear or anything like that. I just want to annoy someone. It's basically me putting on my troll face. So I queued a couple of my other characters, and like my Marauder, my Assassin, just for fun. And I decided what would be the most fun would be to queue up my Operative on that side, or on that server rather. And she stealths around and then she heals like crazy. So I love just irritating the other people, so they would think they had the upper hand, and I'd be stealthing around, and all of a sudden I'd pop out and just heal the crap out of everyone over there, and then they die, and then I get targeted because they're mad at me. But I happened to play a match of Hut Ball where I just stayed on like the ball handler like the whole time, and we wiped the other team like 4-0, and that normally doesn't happen. I normally feel like the other team scores at least once, or our scores lower. And, I chalk that win up to my awesome heals, because I'm not modest. Without me, I don't think they could have done that. That's all I did. I didn't do, I did a little bit of gambling in the casino, but I can't waste money. It freaks me out. And I know you have to play to win, but I'm playing and losing, so I can't do it.
Well, I can attest to you definitely do more losing than winning.
No
Not
kidding.
just you specifically, but like everybody that's in the event.
Speaking of that, I believe I lent you money for the casino. You owe me.
I don't recall this.
Of course you don't.
So, Lou, what have you been up to this week?
Well, a bunch of things. First off, one of my public characters, my Vanguard, my Trooper Vanguard, finally finished up questing on Voss. You ever get those days when you say, all right, I'm only going to do this storyline, and then I'm gone. And then I ended up finishing up the entire planet anyway. Halfway through, I realized, you know what? I was only going to do the class storyline on Voss, and then I realized I'm all the way doing the bonus series now. Like, oh, duh. All right, might as well finish it. I'm here. So, finished that, and then I went to Corellia and started doing the class stories there. And halfway through that, found myself doing the other stuff as well, the planetary quests. I'm like, damn it. So, next time I log on to her, I definitely just want to focus on the class quest, because she already hit 52. And she hasn't done much on Corellia, but no, I just want to finish the overall class storyline and then probably take her over to McCab and start on that and do that content over there. I've also been planning and plotting out my adaptive gear purchases on a bunch of my other characters on Jedi Covenant, along with going to other quest and class guides on my sniper to see what I can get and what quests I can do to obtain, again, the typical Imperial uniform look that I had in my operative for so long, without having to resort buying stuff on the cartel market. I mean, I know there's an Imperial uniform you can buy in the cartel market, but I'd rather save my coins for something else. So I'm looking out for adaptive Imperial gear, Imperial looking gear, that uniform gear, and I'll probably have my other character send it to my sniper to get that look faster.
Not to interrupt you, Lou, but where is that, Fred, that purple uniform that I tried so hard to get on my other operative?
There is a couple versions of it that you can get as tradable oranges, but the one that you have is the one that drops out of Hammer Station.
I love it. It's purple. I feel like it's feminine without being too girly because it's still a uniform, and you play females, right, Lou? It looks nice.
Mm-hmm. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I have to look on my operative and see it, because I may still have that stuff, because a lot of my older gear, I like the look for my operative. I never actually, discarded. I just store it away.
Right, I do too. It's like a closet for me.
Mm-hmm. In the hopes of maybe it can turn into adaptive gear, or maybe when BioReal came in, on top of maybe doing adaptive gear, you can do costume slots. But whatever. I mean, I have hope.
What's really interesting about that purple Imperial outfit is if you match the rest of it to the chest, it turns your pants white.
Yes, it does, and I don't like it. It makes me crazy, but I live with it.
Well, you could always just put another separate dye module in the pants.
Certainly.
Let's see, that'll work. If you want to pay some of those crazy prices I see in the GTN for dye.
Dye definitely has to be the big money maker in the game right now for cartel market stuff.
I have no doubt, because I've seen some of the colors I want. I'm like, yeah, I'm not paying that. Yeah, I have a better chance of getting a Rancor in Nar Shaddaa, that kind of money. But speaking of more money, I also managed to squeeze in a bunch of quest runs yesterday and today, actually, for Bounty Contract Week for a few of my characters. And I managed to get halfway into newcomer status as of today. Yeah, before I totally was doing Bounty Contract Week last time. I came around spotty, off and on, and pretty much didn't have much to show for it. But this time I actually went full bore and was doing it on a bunch of my characters. And after redeeming all the tokens from today, I'm halfway through newcomer status, which is nice. And hopefully I can start seeing what else I can buy later on, next time this comes around. And save up and plot out what exactly I need to get from the bounty guys for upgrades and stuff. Or just for looks, stuff for looks. Oh, like I mentioned last time, on my 2 main Republic characters, my Sentinel and my Vanguard, I've been checking the GTN. Again, always on the lookout for Trooper-style armor, whether it's the adaptive gear or anything similar, just so I can send it to my power tech. I'm also doing the same thing on my Imperial characters, looking for that kind of armor. I know as a collector I could probably get the Imperial soldier's uniform in the CE lounge up in the fleet, but I don't know. I mean, I don't like the look of the Imperial uniform, so per se that trooper uniform we have, the Imps. There's something about it I just don't like. So I'd rather just take the old trooper armor that I can find and send it over to my BH and just dye some really, I guess, crazy looking colors to match the fact that it's not a trooper, it's some money grabbing BH who's out looking for trouble in the galaxy.
It's a trooper that went AWOL.
Yeah, trooper went AWOL, just a totally mercenary. Didn't defect to the Empire. Yeah, ex-Havoc squad that didn't defect to the Empire, but just went freelance. Freelance work.
I understand that, man. Or woman.
Exactly.
Hey, you're not going to convince me you didn't defect to the Empire when they're standing there in Droman Kos.
Hey, place of employment, that's all they're doing. Gotta go where the jobs are.
I made my bounty hunter wear an Imperial, soldier uniform, but it's dyed, purple and pink, so it's pretty awful.
That's an interesting combo for the Imperial armor.
She did the one that's off the collector's edition vendor.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
And she drives a horrible pink mount. I mean, I just made her look ridiculous.
I kind of wish that those collector's edition items were actually tradable, Bind to Legacy things, so I could have an entire Republic crew of Imperial troopers.
That would be an idea. A good idea.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And then when General Garza's like, "Hey, I'm too fat to come to you, so why don't you come back to the Senate Tower?" You go running in there and you're this Imperial trooper running through the Republic's Senate Tower.
Yeah, you and whatever companion other than 4X in that armor. That'd be cool.
Yes, and then you need a paint job for 4X that makes it match.
Exactly. Or paint job for 4X to give an Imperial droid look. On the battle droid they have on the Imperial droid you see on Belsavis.
Yes.
That kind of color scheme.
Awesome. I love how they try to market him like he's something unique, and then you see all these other 4-legged droids everywhere.
Mm-hmm. But hey, they all don't talk like him.
No, he kind of reminds me of Buzz Lightyear a little bit. For the Republic.
Yeah, the happy-go-lucky. The Republic flag. Apple pie and everything. It's awesome.
Pie.
4X is an awesome companion.
I should probably try him out one of these days. I mean, I've always been using Dorn since my trooper's a tank, so...
Yeah, he's a better match for a commando. That's what my trooper is. I went commando healer, so 4X is basically the best pair for him. Unless you're going dark side, in which case Vic would be a better match. But I know you don't go dark side, Lou.
No, so pretty much Tanovic just stays in his part of the ship, never leaves. Don't care. I mean, I'll probably have to figure out, or look up, see what his max affection gain unlocks for my characters.
Probably nothing.
Your characters are prone to getting angrier.
Just lowers the cooldown of heroic moment by a minute.
Increases your intimidate score by 2.
Okay, so I guess one companion story I won't be delving into too deeply then. Not gonna miss it. Sit in your corner, Vic. You're part of the ship. Stay over there. Last thing, I know you mentioned before we started the show. Yeah, I stayed the hell away from Rashida and the Nightlife event. Okay, prizes look really cool, and yeah, I wouldn't mind having them, but I mean, the very first time I went there, I'm my Imperial agent and went from almost 800k down to less than 100k in less than 20 minutes. Yeah, no.
Well, wait, hang on. Did you at least get any golden certificates?
Yeah, I did get some golden certificates, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna save my money because I really could have used that money to buy more upgrades for my agent and a couple of other companions that I'm trying to outfit. You know.
Truthfully, the nightlife event only did one good thing for me, and that was that my main, I hadn't bothered to get her an orange belt. It never occurred to me because I don't pay attention to that type of stuff. I always have Fred like looking after me, and one day he was like, "She's wearing a blue belt." So my golden certificate bought me a belt. So thank you, nightlife event. It was a really good idea, and I think it was a lot of fun. And that's a lot of money for some of those prizes that people went after, and I can't spend that. I can't. It weighs on my conscience like it's real money.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad. That's why I don't do it. I'm like, you know what? I had 3 million credits. I'm now down to 100,000. If this was real life, I'd have a problem.
I know, right?
Well, I feel like a complete loser now that I went there with 200k and I'm down to 30k now, and basically all I got out of it was 4 golden certificates. So I just bought 2 of those Han Solo-esque blasters.
Ah, okay.
Just in anticipation of if I ever make a gunslinger or a mercenary on that server, I have 2 matching guns.
Mm-hmm.
But
you don't like the ones on the cartel market, like the ones from the return trailer. The smuggler was using.
I mean, it's fine. I was really hoping that I could have got a Black Vetron Magnus over on Shadowlands, though, but it just wasn't in the cards. And I didn't want to have golden certificates that are still in my bag after tomorrow.
Yeah. Spend them.
They're no good for the next year. So that's a tip. If you guys are listening live, spend your golden certificates before tomorrow because they're not going to do you any good to have in your inventory for the next year. I actually have to get on Jedi Covenant and make sure I don't have any floating around on anybody. Liquidate them all.
Yeah,
I should probably do the same.
Cash in before it goes away.
That's right. Cash in your golden certificates.
Well, guys, I've encountered a bug with the game for about the last week or maybe 2, where when you actually log in and you go to change servers, you'll get to the character select on the server you change to, and when you hit the play button, it makes the noise like it's about to log you into the game, but nothing happens. You stay on character select.
Right. I've had the same issue.
Yeah, and you could keep hitting the login button and nothing happens. You have to actually completely log out of SWTOR and restart the client.
Not even repair? Did I help any? Or
it's a bug on their end because a lot of people are reporting this issue on the forums right now.
Mm-hmm.
And as of our recording right now, there still hasn't been an official response from BioWare.
Yikes.
So we're waiting to see what the verdict is on that. I think they broke it in a patch, and they need to fix it. But we're still waiting for them to figure out what they're going to do about that whole... The view is like set back on the login now.
Oh, that bugs me so much. There's so much dead space. I can't stand it. I have to click around to make it go away.
Yeah, it's just interesting enough that they haven't fixed it yet, because I know Tate Watson at least acknowledged that that's a bug and that's something that they're going to be fixing. Maybe they're waiting until tomorrow's patch to fix that.
Yeah, they probably have. I mean, if they had something in the works, they'll probably announce it tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, let's hope.
Hopefully tomorrow hits and that bug is gone, but I know as somebody that plays on 2 servers, that's really annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if I switch from Jedi Covenant over to Shadowlands, I'll make the switch and then I have to close the client and then restart everything just to log into Shadowlands, and vice versa. And so in the leveling group that we've been doing, I managed to get my Twi'lek Juggernaut up to level 14. And I've been giving it some serious thought, and I think when we hit level 18, I'm going to switch over to the Zabrak that I already have on the server, Zabrak Juggernaut.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not too keen on the fact that I can't wear hoods or anything with the Lekku.
This is probably one of the reasons why I have not rolled a Twi'lek ever in TOR so far.
Yeah, it's starting to bug me more than I thought it would. But I have a Zabrak that's already level 18. I had started up as one of my many leveling projects with Paige over the course of time.
Who is I playing with that person?
Sorcerer.
Oh, you're gonna abandon my sorcerer?
No. I mean, he could bring this Twi'lek over now.
Oh, I don't want to play with that ugly fool. Oh, that's right. I was also the Zabrak. We have the same hair.
Yeah. They look like brother and sister.
Yeah, but I'm cuter.
Yeah, but basically, that's where I'm standing with that. I'm really thinking about switching over to that Zabrak because if I do that, then our group will be more balanced too because my Zabrak's actually light side like Lou.
Ew.
I know. Lou will love that though.
Hey, half the time we'll win those rolls.
Half the time.
You
You
know what I
all
mean?
the time.
The dark side will never win if there's two of us.
It's easy. What are we going to do about this? Maybe we should just kill them both.
I'm good with that.
They might be
Will I
worth
get
something.
money?
They might be worth something.
We'll give
Okay.
you money to kill the agents easy.
Money. Trick, get out of my helmet.
Oh, that's gonna leave an odor, man.
Oh man.
Ew, did she pee in there? What is that?
That smells terrible.
Smells like pee.
Can we sell Trick?
No, we already tried. Nobody wants her.
Can we pay someone to take her?
Hey, we tried to leave her behind, but Lou brought her.
No, she wouldn't attach herself to my leg, and you couldn't force choke her off.
I could have. I just wasn't willing to.
So this is your fault. That
Yeah,
means you have to
this
clean
is
up the
your
pee
fault.
helmet.
Puny agent, clean up helmet.
Yeah, well, while Lou's there, like, busting out the paper towels, I'll go ahead and tell you guys about my Jedi Knight over on Shadowlands. This is my highest character there right now. And when I started playing him yesterday, he was level 34. And now he's level 38, real close to 39. I completely finished Balmora, thank God.
Yeah.
And
Gosh.
blew through Quest in about an hour or two. And I'm just now starting Hoth. I thought that I had some more game time in me last night because I managed to get 3 days off work and I was buying some coffee from Dunkin' Donuts trying to do some real power play, and it was like 5 in the morning and I'm starting Hoth. I'm like, alright, I can go maybe knock out a quest hub or two. I did like the first quest and I'm like, I better go back to the cantina. I'm about to fall asleep in my chair. I'm hoping that I can give it a little bit more of a go tonight because I want to get this guy to 50 as soon as possible so that I can start doing dailies to recoup the money that I lost at the casino. And also so that I can unlock the Miraluka race because I really want to make a Miraluka Sith. And I don't know why, because I never wanted anything to do with this race until I made this Jedi.
So now you just want So instead of just playing a dark side Jedi, who's a Miraluka, you just want to have, right from the get-go, just a Miraluka Sith.
Well, my Jedi is dark side. Miraluka Jedi Knight.
Right, but then you figure, once you unlock it, you'll probably just, play a Miraluka Sith from the get-go.
Yeah, it'll be his son.
Ah, okay, yeah, work the legacy, okay. Alright, I can see that.
And see, it's kind of cool because I'm getting to see the Jedi Knight story from the dark side of things now. Because the first time through, I went completely light side, and I liked how the story turned out, but this time it's going to be really cool because I'm actually going to get to play with Lord Scourge.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, it was great, Lou, because, mild, not really a spoiler, just something cool that happened in a cutscene, but when Lord Scourge met him for the first time, he walked up and he's like, ooh, the Jedi, and you've been touched by darkness. This is quite unexpected.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great. I love when people acknowledge your light side, dark side status.
I like that. See, that's a nice little touch.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. And then I opened up the cartel market last night just to glance in there like I do from time to time. And I saw that the 2 packs that are associated with the nightlife event were on sale right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought a couple of them, and I got complete garbage out of all of them.
I wish I could say I was shocked.
I won't say complete garbage. I did get a speeder out of there that looked pretty cool.
Oh,
But
what'd you get? What kind of speeder?
honestly, I don't remember the name of it. It's like this red and metallic looking speeder where you actually sit down on it, like sitting back, and like you're holding these like joysticks to drive it. Kind of.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It's pretty cool looking, but at the same time, I think I could have bought that for credits for a lot cheaper than I. Cartel coin to credit ratio, I think I could have got it a lot cheaper if I just bought it outright from somebody.
Probably.
But hey, you can't blame me for trying, because last time I opened up a cartel pack, I got a dewback out of it.
Oh, you lucky.
Well,
Lucky dog, you.
that's what I mean. That's why I had to try, because last time I bought some that were on sale, I got a dewback. Which I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the dewback to somebody on Jedi Covenant, then I'm going to unlock it for my legacy, and then give it to my Miraluka Sith when I make him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
A dark side Jedi is cool, but a light side Sith is just a pansy.
Yep.
No, it depends on which story you're doing.
Nope.
Well, because either way, they justify pretty well why you would be going light side. And there's major differences to every story, whether you go light or dark.
Mm-hmm. Looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, it gives a lot more replayability than a lot of games have.
Yes, it does. I know, exactly what Fred said in terms of playing both my Sith characters, and even my Imperial Agent, as light side. I do like how they bring that to the fore in terms of it makes sense. If you're going to play that way, the story kind of lends itself to that, in a way you could believe in very easily. Because I see my Sith characters, they're evil, but I guess using an old school like Dungeons and Dragons term, I see them as lawful evil, meaning, they're not going to be crazed psychopaths killing everything in sight. No, they will kill, but only for specific reasons, right? And they're still not to be messed with, but they're not going to cut down everyone they see in front of them every chance they get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My first character that I ever played in this game was my Sith warrior, Lord Corv, and I actually leveled him up completely light side, and, well, except for the very last decision you get to make in the class story.
Don't ruin it for
I'm not going to ruin it, but those that have played the story know what that decision is, and they will understand why I had to go dark side. But it was just a matter of running a couple flashpoints to get it back to 10,000 light.
You had to get your points back or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though the game's been out for as long as it has, we're not going to spoil class stories here, because we know there's still a bunch of classes that not everybody's played.
Right.
That kind of goes into something that I wanted to say. Like, I feel like the dynamic that we have is kind of a good one, because I feel like no matter what type of listener we have, at least one of us can relate to every type of listener. ZZ's kind of the new guy. I'm not trying to make fun of you or anything, because we probably have some people that are new to the game that are listening. You're experiencing things for the first time. Lou being, crazy about the lore. I don't know how you know all this stuff, but Lord, you do. I mean, I used to be that way with World of Warcraft, but I mean, you know so much. And Fred, I feel you know so much about the actual mechanics, the game itself, things about professions, where to go for quests. I mean, it's like every map like the back of your hand. And then there's me, the person who just wants to have fun, and I just do whatever I want. So I feel like everybody can relate to someone on this podcast.
I feel like you were making fun of me, and
I really wasn't. I really wasn't, though. If I wanted to make fun of you and I really wanted to hurt you, you would know it.
Suck it up and quit being a pansy, you light side bounty hunter.
He's not light side.
I'm a dark side bounty hunter.
Light
I
side
do it for the
bounty hunter.
money. You give me money, you can hurt me all you want.
Well, no, but remember, he just said a minute ago that any Sith that goes light side's a pansy. I know he's not a Sith. He was acting like a pansy, so he must be light side.
So instead of a power tech, he's a mercenary? No.
No.
Power
Damn.
pansy.
All right, I really wasn't making fun of you, though. Because you're learning really fast.
Yeah, and before too long, he's going to have more 55s than all of us.
It's possible.
He already has more money than we do on Shadowlands.
I know.
You didn't know? He does it for the money.
Obviously.
I'm sorry that I kind of interrupted our flow.
we actually had some interesting news come out over the last week. GamesCon happened, and BioWare actually did a community cantina there, and they put out a new trailer for Galactic Strongholds. Which, Lou, you want to tell people real quick what GamesCon is?
Well, GamesCon is a international, I should say international, yes, because it actually happens in Europe, and they hold it in Cologne, Germany. And it's like a big media / press event for the gaming community.
Okay, and this trailer is really showing off Galactic Strongholds, and it's just a little trailer, so I'm going to go ahead and play this for people to watch real quick.
You are a powerful figure on the galactic stage.
Show your worth. Secure a stronghold now. Exhibit your formidable status to all the galaxy. Adorn your stronghold in stunning opulence. Wield your prosperity as a weapon. Accomplish all of this and more with strong winds.
Okay, so that was the trailer that they showed off at GamesCon. It's just a little thing trying to show off what's coming with the Galactic Strongholds, more of an advertisement commercial than anything. Okay, so also coming out of the Cologne, Germany Cantina event was the typical thumb drive that BioWare passes out every time they do a Cantina event. And there were numerous screenshots that they included in here, which basically, those screenshots are showing off some of the things that are going to be coming with Galactic Strongholds, and with some of the content that's going to be coming after Strongholds, such as Rakata Prime, which is going to be the next flashpoint in the Forged Alliances story. So what do you think of going back to Rakata Prime, Lou?
I think it's a nice nod, obviously going back to Knights of the Republic 1. For those who haven't played KOTOR ever, sorry for the spoiler, but yes, one of the key points in the game is that you will go to Rakata Prime, which is the home of the Rakata, all right, the star for the Infinite Empire. And actually, a few of the photos they have there from that flash drive look pretty cool. I mean, the very first photos I've seen of this, it looks like, yeah, this is a straight, I wouldn't say a straight copy, but a much better looking, I guess, updated version of Rakata Prime that you would see in KOTOR, but they just took it over here and moved it to TOR.
Yeah, I think it's awesome, the tropical environment.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at these screenshots, there's a Wookiee that has a droid's head on his armor.
You showed me that. It looks
Yes.
exactly like 3PO, right?
Yes,
Yep.
it's definitely a protocol droid. Which I thought that was just some silly nod to the actual movies.
I think
Yep.
it might be silver instead of gold, though. I don't remember.
Yep.
Yeah, and it has green eyes. But you can kind of tell what they're alluding to there.
Oh yeah,
Right.
except that there's no other body parts to be found except the head.
Yeah, there's that.
That's because his arms are in that, what is it, that cantina on Hutta.
Yes.
Yeah, along
Laying on the table.
Yep.
Well, in addition to the thumb drive that was passed out to everybody that attended, they also did a Q&A session.
Yes, they did. It was provided by Theo on Delphi.net. And here are some key points. Shadow Realms is a completely different development team and will not affect SWTOR in any way. We did not get any developer responses during the 2.9 PTS because the team was too busy on getting it ready and could not spare a few minutes. Also, 2.8 got more responses because it had class changes, while 2.9 was more for balance changes. Rest assured that our feedback was heard, though. We'll have to wait until 2.10 or 2.10 before they implement it. The Dark Project prices are working as intended. They are supposed to be a lot of effort to get. They are aware of the situation with rated PvP and have discussed solutions. Cross-server PvP is certainly not coming 2014 and would be an enormous undertaking if they did it. Cory Butler said, "At this moment, they are narrowing down the solutions for rated PvP." No details on the Rise-like expansion later this year, but marketing told Eric that he can say, expect more details in the coming weeks. Same as what he said in the IGN video. The 25 NPC decoration restriction is very likely put in to improve performance, but they did not know for sure. Also, they said that it is possible they may raise this limit in the future if they find the servers can handle it. I asked Corey Butler about details on the Stronghold reactivation fees. The Narshada Stronghold subs get for free counts as a CC purchase, or cartel coin purchase, so you won't have to spend any credits to reactivate it. Also, if you want to save the reactivation fee, you just need to purchase the base Stronghold with cartel coins. You can unlock the additional rooms with credits afterwards.
Ooh, I see what they're doing there. They want to encourage everybody to buy Strongholds with cartel coins so that they can waive the reactivation fees later on.
Yeah.
That's smart. That's a smart move. And that's probably something I would do to buy the other Stronghold. I would totally do that. Because I know in other MMOs where there's housing and I have houses there, yeah, it can be a real pain to reactivate housing. Because a lot of these games I play, well, especially take for example EverQuest 2, where you can actually have an escrow account set up or have it automatically deducted from your players' money every month. I was like, yeah, screw that.
It seems like a good idea until you don't play for a few months, so you're not replenishing the money that they're taking.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what happened to one of my characters in EverQuest 2, where I had 3 mains and a couple of alts, and my alts I just let fall to the wayside. And obviously, since they weren't getting any money, but they had houses, yeah, their houses got locked up. Repossessed by the city.
That's pretty much what happened to my Lotro house. Like, I decorated this thing, it was awesome. Then I quit playing for a while, and I came back, and they're like, pretty much are like, get your stuff and get out. I'm like, oh, I haven't paid rent in a while. Evicted.
Oh, I can't be a squatter. Damn it.
Well, you know one thing that really stands out here to me. It used to be when you played an MMO, and it would get to the 0.9 of an expansion, that would mean the very next patch was going to be the next expansion. What the hell is 2.10? That's supposed to be 3.0.
Nope.
Someone needs to teach Bio math.
Well, it certainly won't be Imperial Intelligence. I can tell you that.
Can't be me. I can't teach anyone math.
2.10 is mathematically the same thing as 2.1.
Oh, yeah, because of the... Yeah, I don't know. I know what you mean, but I don't know how to explain it.
There's no explanation except laziness.
I don't know even. Whatever.
Well, a lot of these decorations and stuff that they showed off at the Community Cantina look like they're going to be awesome. And I love the variety that they're showing us that we're going to be able to have as decorations.
Mm-hmm.
And way back when I watched the live stream where they actually had Chill on there decorating the Drum and Koss apartment, I have very high hopes for Galactic Strongholds because there are tons of decorations available.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you on that, and I really hope that they will find a way to surpass the 25 NPC decoration restriction. Because, I guess, when you know you have a restriction, even though it might be a small part or maybe not a big part of what each player wants to do in their household, it's still a restriction hanging over the back of your head. So I really hope that they do find a way to fix that, because then, think about it this way, I mean, if they can fix that restriction, then they can probably expand a lot more other things now in the Strongholds. Free more stuff for us to do in them. Hang up more stuff. More trophies. More decorations.
Yeah, but that wouldn't surprise me, though, if that is a technical restriction. Because, I mean, look, when they added in the ability to use the group finder to queue into a 16-man story mode operation, look at all the problems it gave the game.
Yeah, that's true.
So, if the 25 NPC restriction prevents half the game from breaking, I'm in favor of that.
Right, like I said, that's why I hope if they can find a way to fix it, I'm all for it. I'm being hopeful. I like, too, the Guild flagship pictures they showed. Because, yeah, we've seen them before, but this is the first time that we get to own one. And I had to actually rewatch again how the Guild Conquest works, but I was really hoping, one part of me says, all right, we have Guild flagships. Can we just have a pure capital ship on capital ship assault?
Oh, that would be awesome.
Can you imagine? And couple that with Galactic Starfighter to where you have half your guild is manning stations on the guild flagship while the other half of you are flying in your fighters
Oh my!
as your fighter screen. That would be amazing.
I feel like that would be a bullet point for a future expansion.
That's basically what I was gonna say. That maybe that's something that we can look forward to in the future. Because I mean, it's been done in the movies. It's done in the lore. They're pretty good about that type of thing. That would be so amazing. That would be so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, and one of the third pictures here, depending on how you look at it, they have one of the Star Destroyers, and there's a shuttle in the foreground that's piloting to it. And just like even in Black Talon, okay, what did we do in Black Talon? We boarded the Republic ship, and they boarded ours. Hell, let's add another dimension. Let's add another PvP dimension in there to where, all right, now another part of your guild, they're the ground forces. They're gonna go on the enemy player's ship and wreak havoc if they can. Like
a defend your ship type thing, or assault their ship type thing on foot.
Yes, exactly. To where they have to actually capture key points on that guild flagship and shut it down. Meanwhile, the guildies who are manning the stations, they've got to man the ship stations so they can fight the other capital ship. All right, but then you're actually going to have actual guildies as your Marines to actually defend against that kind of boarding party.
Oh man, that would be so much fun. You're really thinking, Lou.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I mean, you have, large scale guild PvP. I mean, all right, maybe minimize it for numbers, like for control and for viability. All right, maybe only 20 of you can do it, or 30 of you. Like it's only 30 members on either side can do it. 10, 10, and 10. 10 manning their starfighters, 10 manning the ship, and 10, as one team, as an ops team.
I don't know if they could do more than 8 on 8 though, because I think that's why they restrict the current war zones, is because there are too many performance issues when you get more than 8 people fighting per team.
Okay. All right. So you figure maybe 24, 8 flying, 8 manning the stations, and 8 actually being the grunts fighting their way into the ship.
I would like it if you could just form a group of 8, and another guild could form a group of 8, and you could do kind of like a dueling mechanic where it would place you at a point where you have both your guild ships there, and there's like this hallway, like your one ship was trying to board the other, and you guys are fighting in between your 2 ships.
True. Yeah, and as Pele pointed out in the chat, the good way to do it is GSF is 12v12 though. So maybe if they do a starfighter portion, it's 12v12, and then maybe if you're actually manning the guild stations, the guild flagship stations, and actually the ground forces, you'll still be a team of 8.
Yeah, sometimes I forget that starfighter can be 12 on 12 because Jedi Covenant's always 8 on 8.
But those are just some ideas I'm just tossing around, just because I've seen the guild flagships, and man, for the longest time as a kid I've always said, man, I gotta own a Star Destroyer.
And then we ended up on the Crimson Seabiscuithawk.
Still amazed how you got this thing to work with just one pilot.
Hey, I'm flying this piece of crap as good as I can.
It's not a piece of crap.
It's kind of a piece of crap.
You sound like the bounty hunter.
It's junk.
Shut up, you.
That's my favorite. Eats junk. He's right, it's junk.
Speaking of you, Paige, you had something to recommend to people this week, didn't you?
Speaking of junk, yes. The Star Wars recommendation of the week. This actually comes from thinkgeek.com, and I'm going to read their description because I find it to be hilarious. Before I read the description, though, it's a Darth Vader lightsaber barbecue fork. Okay? So, imagine that, if you will. The link is there. Alright, the description. The Star Wars Darth Vader lightsaber barbecue fork is a perfect blend of summer tools and Star Wars. The hilt looks just like Vader's saber hilt, but is scaled down a little bit to fit better in your hand. And we've added a secondary hanging ring so it can hang fork down for safety. Kind of funny if you think about it, that Darth Vader would like barbecuing, since that's sort of why he needs the full bodysuit. Ouch.
Ew.
Ouch.
Yeah.
See, now if that barbecue fork actually made the sounds,
Oh.
Yes.
that would be cool.
I think that might be an issue, though, with the extreme heat, of your your grill.
Yeah,
like,
that's
that
true.
might mess it up. But I do have to say, like, if listeners have never been to Think Geek, they have a lot of great like Star Wars stuff there, and even if you're into some other things, they have like Doctor Who, Harry Potter, Marvel, DC, so many awesome things there. Go there and check it out. It's so much fun.
I know for that. I know my company instructor, my Sifu. He and his wife are huge Star Wars fans as well, and they actually, and they're Chinese by birth. They actually have lightsabers chopsticks.
I've seen those.
Yeah, he's got them in green. She's got them in red.
Nice.
And the very first time I actually had dinner with them at their house, I actually did a double take. And I was like, wow, so Star Wars fan much there? And no kidding, he showed me his study. He's like, yep, oh yeah, huge Star Wars fan.
It's awesome.
Nothing wrong with that.
And that description there, that's what I call a burn.
Oh my god. Oh man. We're cheesy and brilliant. We're cheesy-ant.
Save us, Lou. Save us, Lou.
Yes, and today for the intelligence report, as promised, this is the Galactic Republic Part 4. And yes, we are coming to a close soon. The Galactic Republic on the Wikipedia and all the other Star Wars lore sites is actually pretty big, so bear with me here, folks. 25,000 years of history.
I thought at the end of the last one we ended up with the Galactic Empire.
Yep, but now we're going... Yeah, stay with me here. Okay, stay with me.
Spoilers.
Yep.
Spoilers.
This is the Galactic Republic Part 4. But we go into the legacy after the Galactic Empire is formed. Okay. Here's a quick little quote. We, the beings of the galaxy, in order to form a free union of planets, establish justice, provide for common peace and prosperity, and to secure liberty for all beings, do ordain and establish this new republic. Let the stars sing, let the planets shout, let the republic begin, which is the excerpt from the Declaration of a New Republic. So, legacy. Barely a year into the reign of Emperor Palpatine, the Empire's precursor state became known as the Old Republic, mainly to emphasize the various excuses behind the Republic's fall and the creation of the Empire. Though the Emperor focused much of his reign towards the gradual elimination of all remaining symbols that reminded the imperial populace of their democratic past and heritage, the long history and cherished principles of the Old Republic were secretly held dear by a growing number of imperial citizens that became disillusioned with the Empire due to the oppressive measures that Palpatine enacted to further strengthen his hold over the galaxy. By 2 years before the Battle of Yavin, the Emperor's tyranny motivated several dissidents within the Imperial Senate to create the Alliance to restore the Republic, thus initiating the Galactic Civil War. 6 years later, the deaths of both Emperor Palpatine and Darth Vader at the climactic Battle of Endor enabled the struggling Alliance to rebound from certain defeat while the Empire descended into chaos and disorder. The Galactic Republic was finally re-established in the form of the New Republic after the Alliance. Aided by the resurgence of the Jedi Order, decisively won the Civil War, and reduced the Empire to a faded remnant of its former glory. The memory of the Old Republic, along with many of its ideals, were further carried on after the New Republic reorganized itself into the Galactic Alliance. Until the outbreak of the Sith Imperial War, the Alliance and the Empire coexisted peacefully, sometimes with great difficulty, for over a century. Government and politics. And now we take a quick look as to how the government used to run in the Republic. Or, in famous words of Palpatine, I love democracy. I love the Republic. The Republic began as a mutual protection and economic alliance among a number of planets in the galactic core. The Republic's greatest failing was its lack of formal organization. Much of its operation was based on non-binding constitutional conventions, which were more often ignored and undermined by corrupt and power-hungry politicians than heeded. Coalition governments were common, with special interests defining the legislative agenda. The Senate, in the later years of the Republic, was so ineffectual that many politically connected corporations and informal blocs of ideologically like-minded planets could essentially do what they wanted. Corrupt governmental bodies even made it possible for certain entities, such as the Trade Federation, to construct de facto sovereign and immense military forces. However, The waning years of the Republic were a time of corruption and great social injustice. The Senate became divided between those who genuinely wished to uphold the values and ideals of the Republic and those who wished to further their own goals. After a series of weak and ineffectual chancellors and a crisis involving the invasion of the planet Naboo by the Trade Federation over a tariff passed in the Senate, the time had come for strong leadership to end the corruption. Within the government, much of the bureaucracy was handled by the General Ministry. Within this body were the Ministries of State, Intelligence, Commerce, Defense, Education, Finance, License and Permits, Public Information, Science, Security and Intelligence, Internal Security and Science and Education. Now, the legislative branch. Each member state, or the system government, returned a representative, which was a senator, to a central legislative body, the Senate. Senators were the ambassadors of their home worlds, and member worlds were able to maintain their government and society in accordance with local beliefs, customs, and tradition. There was a wide variety of different local governments along the political spectrum, from monarchies to republics to hive-like communes. In some systems, the senator was elected to that post, in others, the world government appointed the senator. Naboo's monarch appointed their senators, while the Alderaan Council of Elders elected their senator out of their own ranks, usually the heir to the royal house of Regana, as the heir was also the leader of the council. When the Republic's power and influence expanded, many new areas of the galaxy were incorporated into the Republic. A reorganization of senatorial representation occurred in the year 1000 before the Battle of Yavin, during the Ruusan Reformation. The most common organization for these new territories was to group regions into sectors of approximately 50 inhabited worlds. Each sector was represented by a senatorial delegation. When the number of senators became too large, sectors were organized into roughly 1,000 regions, each represented by one delegation to the Senate. The Senate was headquartered in an enormous building containing many floating platforms, each of which contained several senators. Each platform in the Senate represented a sector of the galaxy, with one senator from each planet in that sector. Some platforms represented individual worlds, others the powerful corporations and guilds such as the Trade Federation. Along with the senators, the leaders of the individual member planets also had the power to vote in the Senate and introduce legislation. The Senate followed such parliamentary rules as a vote in their confidence, South Mayor, such as that introduced by Queen Amidala of Naboo, which forced Chancellor Finis Valorum out of office in 32 years before the Battle of Yavin. Senators received one vote in all matters, procedural and substantive. The Chancellor was elected from within the Senate. The Assembly was in turn divided into individual committees, each specializing in specific fields of government administration, and which were responsible for creating legislation to be reviewed by the full Assembly. Although legislation passed by the Senate was binding to all member worlds, most of the everyday legislation followed by citizens of the Republic was created at the planetary, sector, or regional level. Therefore, the main functions of the Senate were to mediate disputes between members, provide for the common defense, and regulate intersystem trade. Now on to the executive branch. The members of the Senate would then elect a Supreme Chancellor from amongst their ranks who would serve as the Republic's head of government, and by default, head of state and chief diplomat. The office was largely powerless in the last years of the Republic, especially after the Ruusan Reformation, and the Chancellor served mainly as an officiator of parliamentary procedure and the first among equals in the Senate. However, it had the authority to call an extraordinary session of the Senate, and could invoke Chancellor's prerogative in circumventing minor aspects of the Senate's parliamentary procedure. He also was the head of the Senatorial Council. It was still a very prestigious position, however, and the Chancellor had a grand office in both the Senate's Rotunda, Chancellery, and in the dome-like Senate office building in Galactic City. The Chancellor was properly addressed as Your Excellency. The symbol of the office of the Chancellor, as well as the Galactic Senate as a whole, was the fanned spear. This signet was also emblemized prominently on the Chancellor's podium in the center of the Senate's Rotunda main chamber. When in the main chamber, the Chancellor usually wore a Veda cloth robe. The Chancellor was elected from among the senators who made up the Galactic Senate and served a term of office that lasted for 4 standard years. A Chancellor could legally serve only 2 consecutive 4-year terms before he or she had to step down due to term limits. The office became much more powerful during the term of Chancellor Palpatine, who was able to convince the Senate to grant him a range of emergency powers due to the Separatist crisis and then the Clone Wars, including a non-constitutional extension of his term of office after 24 years before the Battle of Yavin for the duration of the Separatist crisis, and authority as Commander-in-Chief of the new military during the Clone Wars. The Chancellor was given more direct power over administrative concerns, and he was allowed to overrule local planetary and sectoral governments. The Sector Governance Decree allowed him to appoint military governors to every planet in the Republic, and the Security Act Amendment gave him complete control over the Jedi Order and Republic military, stripping both the Jedi and the Senate of their previous oversight. Eventually, Palpatine became a dictator and proclaimed himself Emperor of the Galaxy, thus abolishing the office of Chancellor and transforming the Galactic Republic into the Galactic Empire. The position was not revived by the New Republic, which chose instead to call its chief executive the Chief of State. Ironically, Palpatine's 13 years in office, added to his reign as Galactic Emperor, forever tainted the once noble and prestigious position of Chancellor so much that it was far too controversial to revive in the New Republic, even though before Palpatine it had been a symbol of good in the Republic. And now on to the judicial branch. The Supreme Court was the highest court of law in the Old Republic, and composed the judicial branch of the Republic's government. The Supreme Court was headquartered in the Galactic Courts of Justice building on Coruscant. The court consisted of 12 justices, each addressed as Your Honor. One of them was the Chief Justice, who headed both the court and the judicial branch. The Supreme Chancellor apparently could influence appointments to the court in some way, at least during Palpatine's tenure, most likely through nominations. In addition to serving as a court of last resort, and as a determiner of constitutional legality, the Supreme Court also tried cases involving the highest politicians and most noteworthy people in the Republic. However, at least some cases, including the trial of senators for treason, were handled by the Senate. And this concludes Part 4 of the Galactic Republic. Next week, we continue with the relationship with the Jedi. And I'd like to say thank you, very much a big thank you to the Wikipedia, StarWars.com, TheForce.net, and many of the websites out there holding Star Wars lore. Folks, if you enjoy the Star Wars lore as much as I do, please visit these sites, look up your favorite topics, and enjoy.
Knocked it out of the park again, Lou.
Thank you.
Can I look up money on those websites?
No,
You
you
can-
stay off the internet. Go away.
You can look up money, but what good does it do to look it up when you could have it?
I want to find
Print
more
it,
about money.
and then you go on trial in front of the Senate, apparently.
It is worth a shot.
It always is.
And then we're on to the community holo feed.
Yes, the Community Hollow Feed, where we will talk about, discuss emails, tweets, Facebook, feedback of all sorts. And one thing we want to mention, the trivia question of the week. Each week, we're going to post a trivia question into our YouTube video version of the show. Simply go to StarWarsBeyond.com, and we'll link you right to the episode. On the episode page, there will be a button you press to see the trivia question of the week. Alternatively, it'll always be there after we say our goodbyes. Then, shoot us an email with your answer to StarWarsBeyond@gmail.com. In the email, please include your character name, your faction, and did I say faction? And let's say what server you're on. If there is more than one correct answer, we'll do a random drawing to win a cartel pack. Everyone that answers correctly will be entered into a drawing for a much larger prize, which we'll draw on the show every few months. You can be entered into the grand prize drawing every time that you answer correctly.
Yes, and mind you, you get entered into that drawing for the bigger prize, even if you don't win the cartel pack that week, as long as you answer correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lou, you asked a question, and apparently nobody could get the answer to it.
Right, according to some feedback. Yeah, some people said that this was a pretty difficult question. So,
yeah, I think the way we're going to handle it is after the show goes live, if nobody answers correctly within a day or two, Lou will start getting on Facebook and Twitter and putting extra clues out there. And at the point when we get our first entry that has a correct answer, the extra clues will stop.
mm-hmm.
You could still send in answers, but the extra clues will be done as soon as we get somebody that answers correctly.
Yes. So, all right, folks, just a recap for the last question. All right, this is from the week of August 11th. Here's the first clue. Ours was a homeworld steeped in darkness and evil. Second clue, for our people, food and drink gave us no sustenance. Rather, we were sustained and, in return, empowered by something intangible. Third clue, though we were incredibly strong, tough-skinned, and possessed acute senses, we lived short lifespans. Fourth clue, we were proud, intelligent, and fearsome warriors, but over time our masters turned us into hulking, brutish mockeries of our former selves. The fifth and last clue, in the end, we faded from the galaxy, our trapped legacy freed by the actions of two brave trainees. Who, what am I?
Can I just say, I know this has nothing to do with Star Wars, they sound like Uruk-hai from Lord of the Rings. A little bit. Does anyone else get that?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's not a correct answer.
I know it's not, but it just...
Even ID10T knows that wasn't correct.
I wasn't trying to be correct. I was just saying it sounds similar. I will fly this ship into a moon. Don't say nothing to me, backseat driver. Sit back there and shut your mouth. That's no moon.
It's a star, actually.
Wow.
Okay, so this week's answer, it's the Massassi. The Massassi people. Okay, the Massassi are actually a subspecies of the Sith. Alright, they originally hail from Korriban too, just like the purebloods. So, over time, again, they were taken by the Sith, the actual true pureblood Sith, and changed and used as slave labor. Took advantage of the fact that the Massassi saw the Sith as their superiors. Okay, believed in them, gave them like demigod type status, which allowed the Sith to use them to a great extent. Okay, like for example, most famous example is Yavin 4. Okay, the moon of Yavin 4, where the Alliance actually had one of the secret bases where Leia takes all of them to meet the Alliance there for the first time. Okay, all those stone temples you see on Yavin 4, all right, those are actually Sith buildings. So yes, the Alliance. Ironic is that the Alliance was headquartered in Sith areas. Okay, and if you read some of the books in the EU, okay, I think when Luke first rebuilds the academy, he actually headquarters his academy on that temple, and he and his students have some issues there. Won't spoil the story for you, but go read the books. Okay.
Now, at the point when the Old Republic takes place, the Massassi are long gone, right?
For the most part, yes. They're starting to fade from the galaxy, all right, because they've either been used to the point that they're all dead. Their masters pretty much have run out of Massassi, or in some cases, the Massassi have fled into unknown corners of the galaxy, where the Sith and the Republic just lost track of them. So, but for the most part, all the Massassi that are known, or known areas of Massassi, they're all pretty much, the Massassi are gone.
Well, I was just kind of wondering if canonically they would have been all gone from Korriban, or if that was just something that maybe BioWare overlooked when they made the game and didn't put any of them on there.
It could be, but by this point, the Massassi have already left Korriban. They've all left. Whatever survivors the purebloods and the other Sith took with them when they fled Korriban, okay, I would assume some of them probably made it to Roman Cos, but then soon died out afterward.
Now, I just want everybody to think about this for a moment in terms of our world. This would be like all of the humans just picking up and leaving Earth altogether. That would be a lot of ships.
Right, and you gotta remember too, when you see the return trailer for the Old Republic, okay, it's been over a millennium. Okay, now the Sith come back to Korriban, so in all that time, whatever Massassi survivors they have, and remember the Sith used them for whatever reasons. Okay, they probably drove them to death, to help them rebuild Dromund Kaas, or to help them build up Dromund Kaas. All right, so they had to start somewhere. So that's how I think about it. Why the Massassi are gone, for the most part. Why they faded from the galaxy.
Would have been nice if they had a few of them over there with that giant statue of the Sith Lord that they're trying to build on Dromund Kaas when you're doing the quest chain.
Oh, yeah, that would have been cool. Or at least see them in, I guess, as an instance on Dromund Kaas itself, like in some wild area of the planet.
Yeah, that would have been really neat. Or during bounty contract week, put them in a phase.
They actually could. I mean, all the planets that we have now, they could easily expand. I mean, if you think about it, we've only seen one small portion of each world.
Oh, what if the next playable race is the Masasi?
Yeah, but at this point, they're just hulking brutish monsters, so it wouldn't make sense.
Oh.
Yeah. Nice, though, but no, I don't think they could do it.
Do they have red skin as well?
Yes, they are red skin, and he has the same bone, facial, cartilage protrusions like the Sith do.
Oh, so basically, like, any of the red skin descendants could be from Masasi lines, too.
Yes. Yes, they could, because, obviously, they were humanoid. So, yeah, the pure bloods could interbreed with them, and as well the Dark Jedi that first made it to Korriban could do the same. So.
Very interesting.
Who knows?
Next thing up is we got tons of feedback on Twitter this week. And, this is obviously feedback in relation to Episode 0 and Episode 1, since both of them released within 24 hours of each other. And Dustin Hupp says, at Star Wars Beyond, just started listening and haven't stopped laughing. Keep up the good work. And then he says, at Star Wars Beyond, is that Gadok Teague channeling Malkovich from Rounders? And what he was actually referring to was Madmar's part in our Episode 0. And Mara, at Star Wars Beyond, go Power Rangers. Lewis, at Star Wars Beyond, holy bleep, Episode 0 was the best thing I've heard in a long time. Jason Brown, at Star Wars Beyond, just finished Episode 0, working on Episode 1. LMAO. Lewis, at Star Wars Beyond, I think ZZ's first PvP match should be in an arena. There are 4 of you. And I replied to Lewis and told him, I think ZZ's first experience with PvP should be we should all take a trip out to the Outlaw's Den together.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Which, if you don't know, ZZ, the Outlaw's Den is a giant open world arena. Like, as soon as we walked in there, we could attack you.
Oh, okay.
And Plyskin at Star Wars Beyond, nice job on the podcast. Good to know that you will be continuing to entertain us. Ben Allen at Star Wars Beyond, great show. Glad you guys are still podcasting. Hope you have many more episodes. Madmar at Star Wars Beyond, just finished your first episode. Good job, guys. Think the podcast would do well. Oh, and then he also commented on our little Jawa thing about the Rackle event. He said the Jawa is there because he is the one spreading the virus and bringing it back. Creates the tunnel setup for his business. He also says, this is why they look the same. He also plants the data pad. Crafty wee Jawa. Just a theory.
That slimy little John.
And the Monkey Legacy at Star Wars Beyond. Just heard Episode 0. Awesome. And Mark _ SWTOR. Also listened to Episode 0 of at Star Wars Beyond cast. Needed a replacement in my SWTOR podcast subs anyway. Ryan K. Really enjoying at Star Wars Beyond podcast. Keep it going, guys. Really glad you guys will continue to make me laugh. Rosemarie at Star Wars Beyond. Loving all the voice cameos in Episode 0 from all my favorite SWTOR people. Nathan K. at Star Wars Beyond. Enjoyed the episodes, despite all the insults directed at Doc. He's the best. And I replied, at Nephrin ORD, we'll have to agree to disagree. Unless you mean Dr. Locken, who of course is actually the best. Rackle form for the win. And Nathan K. replied, haha, fair enough. And I do like Locken as well. I will say Khaleo irritated me, so we can agree there.
Well, this ain't your party.
Dibs on the head. Rosemarie at Star Wars Beyond. I have the Death Star ice ball mold. I use it in Manhattans. You cannot repel cocktails of that magnitude.
Nor should you. Enjoy that Manhattan.
And Max the Gray at Star Wars Beyond. 5 more days to blow all my credits. We'll never have a guild chip at this rate. And Ash at Star Wars Beyond. I can't wait to lose more credits trying for the Rancor.
See, that's what's going to happen. Every guild's going to be like, you know what, we could have bought the ship had the Night Live event not happened.
We could have bought the ship if our officers wouldn't have participated in the nightlife event.
And what they get? Oh, they got a whole bunch of golden certificates.
I'm telling you right now, Lou, there's at least one guild out there where some officer embezzled a whole bunch of guild money to bet at the casino.
Oh, I bet.
That person has a problem.
Yeah, and I bet his or her guild just disbanded because of that.
We actually got an email this week, too.
Yeah. And Stephen S. wrote, "Love the new show. Thanks for all the great info and entertainment. Helps me transition from work to coming home and having a great time in game."
Thank you so much, everybody, for your feedback. We really enjoy that. Thank you for reaching out to us on Twitter. Thank you for sending us emails. We especially love emails. So please, please, please keep it coming. And Paige, what's going on in the SWTOR community this week?
Check out these up-to-date podcast episodes. There's ToroCast episode 209, posted on the 17th on torocast.com. Corellian Run Radio episode 123 is available on corellianrun.com since the 5th. UntiniCast episode 159 is available at untinicast.com since the 14th. SWTOR Escape podcast episode 51 available at newoverlords.com since the 12th. Old Republic Radio episode 73 available since the 13th on iTunes. And the Bad Feeling podcast episode 27 was posted on the 14th to iTunes and can be found at badfeelingpodcast.com. Be warned, that podcast is explicit. Also follow Madmar at SWTOR Family for the latest happenings in the SWTOR community on Twitter. And if you would like to have your podcast listed on this segment, send us an email at starwarsbeyond@gmail.com.
And now I'll tell you how you can contact us. You can find out more about our show at StarWarsBeyond.com. You can like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/StarWarsBeyondPodcast. Send us an email to StarWarsBeyond@gmail.com. You can tweet the show at StarWarsBeyond. You can find me at SithLordKorv, Korv. Lou can be found at GamerGuy11B. Paige can be found at Asaphiry, ASAPHIRY. And ZZ can be found at ZZ Corrode. Now it's time for our final thoughts.
This was a fun episode, guys. Go away, Trik. I don't need you polluting any more of my armor.
Polluting your armor, the air, everything. We need like one of those Christmas tree air fresheners to hang up in the front near my seat because, oh my god, it smells so bad on the ship right now.
Well, we own stock on Airwick, but we don't have any outlets that fit these things.
Today I learned a new word. Pollute.
Do you have an adapter, Lou?
Pollute.
I'm sure I have one in my sack somewhere. Hang on.
My final thought, just that I had a blast recording tonight, and I'm really looking forward to recording our footage tomorrow night so we can play our leveling group again together. Hopefully we can cover some ground then. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a great time tonight. I am actually excited for tomorrow, since tomorrow, being a subscriber, early access for us. So, we log in. Man, I'm probably going to waste whatever money I've got left on my characters and looking at strongholds.
Oh, yeah, and I definitely had fun recording with you guys tonight. Our leveling group, very fun. I can't wait to get back in there with you guys tomorrow night. Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping we can get to level 18 so I can, kick that Twi'lek to the curb and delete him. Just looking at him on character select burns my eyes. And I'm definitely looking forward to getting a house on 2 servers.
Oh,
and
man.
I'm hoping that I can get some levels on my Miraluka tonight since it's my last night off before I have to go back to work. And with that said, Beyond the Stars is an independently recorded fan podcast made in association with NSG Productions. And now it's time to say goodnight.
I hunt bounty.
I fly the ship. Good night.
Imperial Intelligence signing off.
I make fun and ridicule you all. Good night.
You've served your purpose.
Beyond the Stars, trivia question for the week of August 18th, 2014. First clue. Taken far from home, we were a slave labor for a mighty race that conquered the stars. Second clue. Over time, our civilization became a lifestyle of nomads. We formed clans with a common belief to remain covered or risk dishonor and disgrace. Third clue. Our distinctive cultural weapon was an ominous symbol of fear and prowess to those we shared the planet with. Fourth clue. Our ancient fear and hatred of our former masters made our culture hate outsiders and distrust technology. Fifth and final clue. The history of our people was an oral tradition, told by clan members specially chosen and trained to do so. Who, what am I? Good luck, everyone!